Hey guys, got another training video. Today I'm wearing my sweet ass Tejas hat for y'all. Today I'm gonna go over pump belts, okay? Get this camera set up right here. On your pumps at your facilities, of course I'm on the Beast right now at Noble. Loose belts can cause a squeal, cause your belts to fray and burn off, and they can cause you to lose flow on your pump. Okay, so if you're having flow issues, you see a lot of this black belt dust. You got a squeal on your belts, either on startup or either just a normal operation. They start squealing randomly. It could be a loose belt issue. Okay, you can also over tighten your belts, and when you over tighten your belts, you'll have the same squealing issue. And so I'm going to teach you guys how to measure your movement on your belts to help prevent being too loose or too tight. So you can just take a tape measure and you go about to the midway point between your two shivs. You got a large shiv and a small shiv on these plunger pumps. The size of your shiv will also determine, you can change your shivs to increase or reduce the flow on your pump. It'll change the speed from your electric motor to your pump, okay? So you can just take a tape measure, put it on the 1 inch mark on the top of the belt. Okay, now you should have a 1/2 inch of movement on your belts whenever you push down. When you push down and apply force to them belts, you want to push and apply about somewhere around 5 pounds. Don't be exact. Don't get carried away and like jump up and down on it, but just kind of push firmly. I'm at the 1 inch mark. I'm going to push firmly on the belts and measure the movement without moving the tape measure. And it shows me I'm about 2 inches, 2 1/4. Okay, so obviously my belts here at Noble, if I was to take them one at a time and not do them as a group, this one belt's like 2 inches off. Normally whenever you're looser on the ones on the outside versus the ones on the inside, that means your pump or your motor is not aligned. Okay, so it could mean your motor or your pump is kind of cocked sideways, one way or the other. Over tightening belts can cause that, or just not putting the motor back on correctly can affect that. All right, now let me show you guys how to adjust those belts. This is very important. I see a lot of guys on site will sit here and pull these belts and run the wheel and try to spin the wheel to pull the belts off. Much easier way of doing it, as long as you can get the bolts off. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is, you got these bolts here, you loosen up all 4 bolts all the way around your electric motor. Okay, then, which of course now I'm realizing the pump here at Noble is missing the tensioner bolts, but I guess I'll have to fix that next. But I'm going to go ahead and give you guys an example of what you're supposed to do. So anyways, we'll imagine I just broke all 4 of those hold down bolts on this electric motor loose. Now there's supposed to be a bolt here and a bolt here. And then what you do is you drive those tighten those to pull the motor this way, and that will cause the motor to tighten up those belts. Loosen those to push the motor that way and loosen up those belts. Pretty simple, okay? Then once you get that, tighten your hold down bolts back down, come back over here, double check your belts, make sure they're good, fire up your pump. Pretty simple, okay? And a couple things to avoid is, obviously, you might have a belt issue as soon as you fire up. If you had a water leak, water getting on those belts, oil getting on those belts, et cetera, et cetera. Try to keep the fluids and stuff off them. That helps out quite a bit. And it makes it simple. And then if you break belts, it's always good to have a couple extra sets of belts on site, because belts do eventually just wear out and give out. It might not be anything wrong. But a couple things also to check if you're burning through belts is you could have a bearing going out in your electric motor. If you seem to be having all the issues with belts and they keep snapping, your electric motor could be seizing up, or your pump could be seizing up. Belts are always a good sign of some type of mechanical failure. All right, thank you guys.